Welcome back again to the Watchtower. This is Andy signing in from monitor duty up here, and today I am going to be offering my review of the animated movie Justice League vs. the Fatal Five. That's coming up right after this. Alright everyone, we are back now, ready to dive into this animated movie review. So, like I was saying, we're going to go over Justice League vs. the Fatal Five today. This is a movie that came out the beginning of April. I'm just now getting to it though, but we're just going to dive in right now and go over it. So, basically, brief plot synopsis of the movie. This is a movie, obviously, by the title, Justice League vs. the Fatal Five. The Fatal Five is a group of 31st century villains that usually fight the Legion of superheroes, but they jump back in time because two of their members were left in the 21st century in the Green Lantern Corps' science cells, which are their prison, and they're like unbreakable. So the three remaining members jump back in time to free them so they can go then back to the future. And so with that, the movie starts out with them in the 31st century trying to find a way to go back. They're fighting members of the Legion of Superheroes. And because the Legion of Superheroes have a time travel device that the Fatal Five, or I guess at this point the Fatal Three, need. So they fight the Legion, couple members of the Legion of Superheroes. They get the time machine from them, and they go back in time. While they're in the middle of this, as they're using this device to go back in time, Starboy, who is a member of the Legion of Superheroes, attaches to their to the devices they're using to go away, and he goes back in time with them. What's interesting about Starboy is Starboy has schizophrenia, which in the 31st century is completely manageable. They have like a drug that he takes, and it's completely manageable. He doesn't have any effects with it. But when he goes back in time to the past, they don't have this drug. So it's really interesting. So he's a superhero, and he's slowly succumbing to the effects of schizophrenia and stuff, and the side effects, and so he can't remember, and he's having trouble, and he can't tell people, why he's there and stuff, and what's going on. So that was a good aspect of it, that whole kind of like he's a superhero, and just his frustration and stuff, because trying to remember who he was and what he was doing, and thinking he's going crazy and stuff, and being able to try to piece together his life was really good, and they really did a good portrayal of schizophrenia and stuff, and really like it was cool that a superhero had it, and he's a good person, because usually there's a stigma attached to mental illness and stuff, and it was nice that there wasn't that stigma, and that it was a hero who had it, and his struggle with trying to be a hero and still struggling with a mental disease. So that was really good. So jumping into the pros. First off, the first pro is the voice cast. As always, these DC movies do a really, really good job of casting voice actors. This was kind of like a walk down memory lane for me, because this was a lot of the original voice cast from Batman the Animated Series and Justice League Unlimited. So they had Kevin Conroy as Batman, Vanessa Marshall as Wonder Woman, George Newbern as Superman. So good, those are the ones that I grew up with, listening to their voices and stuff, so it was nice having them back. And then newcomers were Elias Gabel as Starboy, and he did a really good job struggling with Starboy's going kind of losing his mind and everything, and just the juxtaposition of that was really good. And then the other one was Diana Guerrero, who played Green Lantern Jessica Cruz, which is, I think this was her animated movie debut. She's been in comic books and stuff, but this was her first animated movie, and she did a really, really nice job as well. bringing humor and vulnerability and stuff to that character. Really, really nicely done with that. So voice cast again, really, really well done for these movies. Another positive was the portrayal of mental disabilities in this movie. Like I said, with Starboy having schizophrenia, really, really positive portrayal with him. It was nice to see. He's a victim, but he's also a superhero and stuff, and it was nice to see that, they shine a light on mental illness, because people that have mental illness, they're not evil, they're not bad people, they're just struggling with something. And it was nice to see that. And then also, Jessica Cruz, the Green Lantern in the movie, she suffered from PTSD. Because before she became Green Lantern, she was on a hike with some friends, and this guy was burying a body and caught them, and they saw him and he caught them, and he killed her 2 friends, and she tried to get away, and she got shot and fell, not really off a cliff, but off like a ledge, and got hurt, and she's dealing with the PTSD and everything of that, and then she got selected to be a Green Lantern because you're supposed to overcome great fear, and she thinks it's a mistake, and she doesn't even, at the beginning of the movie, she doesn't even go out of her house. She stays in her house, she's afraid, she's scared all the time, and it was really nice to see, as she got the call to step up, overcome her fear, and become, a Green Lantern who, overcomes great fear, which we know. So that was really nice, and just really good positive portrayal of mental illness in this. Another pro, good action scenes. The fight scenes were really well done. Cool, slick. A little spotlight for everybody. The main characters had a little spotlight. Starboy had a spotlight for action sequences. Jessica Cruz did. Green Lantern. They always do really good jobs with Wonder Woman's fight scenes in these animated movies, I feel like. I really like the way they animate her with her fight scenes and stuff. She's very, fluid and dynamic and powerful. And this is, once again, is no exception. It's really, really good job with her fight scene. And then lastly, the animation style. I've been harping on quite a while lately, these recent animated movies, with the animation style not being great. But this is not the case with this one. This animation style is classic, DC television animated style. Batman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, Superman the Animated Series, Bruce Timm art style. It's so great. It was so refreshing when I started this and saw that it was classic animated style. I was so happy because I love that style. It's what I grew up with. So it's really, really nice to see that. So that might be a little biased on me, but I love the animation style, and I was really glad they used it in this movie. It felt kind of like an episode of Justice League Unlimited with the art style. It wasn't, because story-wise and stuff, it was a little bit darker than Justice League Unlimited. This is definitely not a movie for little kids. There's some language and stuff, but it's older, 12, 13, 14, older that age, they'll be able to watch it no problem. So that's been the pros. Going into the cons now. My big con, and this is really the only one, is, I know I said that in the pros I like the voice cast, but the voice cast for the villains was not very well done. So the 5 bad guys, the Fatal 5, are Throx, Mono, the Persuader, Emerald Empress, and Validus. So I'm going to talk about the first 4 really, because Validus doesn't talk in the movie. He just grunts and stuff and yells sometimes, but he doesn't. There's no speaking part attached to him. He doesn't talk. So the first 4 during this movie with Throx, Mono, and the Persuader, I checked to see if this was the case or not, and it wasn't. But the voice acting is so similar, I thought it was all the same person, because there's no difference between their voices. And I thought maybe it was just the same guy, but I looked and it was a different person doing each voice, but they're just there's no emotion, there's no inflection, it's just very monotone for the most part. Mono has a little bit of times where he's emotional stuff, but for the most part, they're just kind of robotic and stuff, and just not a lot of anything there. So there were times where I was watching it and I wasn't sure who spoke. If they weren't who was it that was talking, if there was multiple ones talking or whatever, so I had to rewind it and watch it again to see who was actually talking. Or if they had their back to the camera and they're talking. I don't know. I had to I wasn't sure who was talking. So the voice acting for the villains, not great. And then Emerald Empress, she was okay, but once again, not really a whole lot there. And then also tied into this, another con besides the voice acting, I would have liked some backstory or something with the villains. They just kind of showed up. Yeah, they were the bad guys. Especially with being a group of villains that I think most audiences aren't familiar with. It should have had that backstory a little bit to tie up to see who they were, but they were just kind of like bad guys and they're muscle, and there wasn't really any detail about them. We don't know how they came, how they came to be, how they got their powers, anything like that, why they're doing what they're doing. They're just kind of there. Besides the fact that Mono and Emerald Empress were in a relationship, that's all you really get. So would have liked a little bit more from the villains, kind of weak on that part. But that's about it. So in wrap up, this was a really, really good animated movie. I like this a lot more than the last couple they've done. Really, really well done. Overall, I like it. I'd give this probably 8 out of 10. Such a good animated movie, and I hope this is more of this going forward is what we get with this art style and stuff, animation style and everything, and voice cast. I really hope so. I know it probably won't. I know they're going to go back probably to the hybrid animation style because that's what they've been doing lately, but I really hope they don't. I want more of that classic animation style. But anyway, I highly recommend everybody watch this. Thank you all so much for watching me today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time in the Watchtower.